Ooh. Hey friends. So I've spent the better part of the morning out in the garden trying to water everything and check on why everything seems a little stunted. Mostly because they need more nutrients. Just is what it is. So I've been trying to fix some of those mistakes that I've made just by being busy. And the trick of gardening is you can try some shortcuts. It's worth looking to see what might actually work. However, most of them don't. And then you end up doing more work in the end. So, guess that tells me what I shouldn't have done. Things I noticed already and probably would not do as a repeat, but I told you earlier this year I was doing as a trial. The beds I put cardboard down and suppressed. Although the cardboard isn't breaking down very quickly, so you only have X amount of inches for soil, so I'm not necessarily getting to get into that deep good soil that's below the grass. It's killing all the grass. So it just means piling up the soil higher in the beds. The side where I did the paper down instead may be getting some of the roots through the paper, but it also means I'm pulling more grass. So you take what you can get. If I had put in the effort to just rip up all of the grass in both places, I'd probably be much better suited and still be ripping up about the same. But I'd probably have richer plants. So those that are kind of struggling and turning yellow, I can assume it's my fault for the nutrients in the soil. But the good news is none of them are dead. They're all looking, well, I'm sure some died. I just may not notice it. I still have things that are alive. That's a better way to describe it. Plenty that's alive, actually. And so I can still work on fixing my mistakes. I've been putting in more soil and getting topsoil, more nutrients and such back in, adding a little bit of fertilizer, but not too much because you can't overdo it. And cleaning up out here so that it's more fun to be here. Listening to my Vegetable Animal Miracle book on audio while getting all the work done. So let's take a look real quick and show you kind of what's going on. I figured a little mini garden tour couldn't hurt. So, obviously I have a lot of work to do. Part of it has been me. I am my own problem. I need to do a better job of prioritizing when I come out here and making the time, even if it means doing it at night like I did the other night. But it also is a lot of knowing what to do and when, and so I'm reading a lot and I'm trying to study to learn more, because I really want not only this to be successful so we can have some good stuff here, but I want to make it a learning experience. I don't want to just keep winging it and just killing things and hoping that next year's better. That defeats the purpose. And for those of you who are watching and going, let's face it, some of you that get to watch gardening channels and you do this for fun, it's because you're experts and you already know things. But there's also a ton of people like me that have never done this or have rarely done this, done it on small scale, and they don't really know what we're doing. And so I kind of am embracing my mistakes as a way to encourage anyone who thinks that this might be worth trying, just because we don't live in a world that encourages mistakes as often as they should, and I'm going to embrace them, and it means I look stupid sometimes. Yep. One of my favorite adventures has been that people on the golf course, you see them occasionally stop in the videos. I try to cut them out because obviously they're not meaning to be on video. But they stop and they ask me questions. Every day, I have at least one person stop and say, oh, well, you sure did bite off a lot, didn't you? Yes, sir, I did. But everybody's also been mostly encouraging. I think I've had one person who didn't love what I was trying to do, but it also didn't look as good as it does right now, so I'll give her a little bit of grace. She's probably scared of what it might turn out like. But I think we live in a world that's not very good about embracing doing things differently. We like conformity, and it's time to make a change. I went to the grocery store this morning because we were out a few things, and let's face it, there's not a lot out here that could be I'm not sustainable. I cannot be 100% sustained in my neighborhood. It's never going to work. So there's things I buy. I'm always going to have to buy. And I've been more conscious of what products I'm buying and what's in them. And y'all, it was expensive. So I'm sitting there looking at a better grade of cheese and a block, $6, small block. Or a giant, massive bag of shredded cheese for like $2. I know that there's additives in the shredded cheese. I know there's things in it. I know that it is not the healthiest of the options. But when you're thinking about how much it costs, if you're trying to be mindful of your budget, that's hard. So after I left the grocery store and I looked at how much it cost me to get these few measly bags I got, and not all of it was food, some of it was cleaning supplies, also expensive. I started thinking about how much money I spend and how quickly, and how bad that is. Like, and let's just be real. America's been known for being more consumeristic. Consumeristic is a word? It is now. Materialistic is definitely a word. We buy a lot of stuff and we trash a lot of stuff. We don't repurpose a lot. And we are on a fast-paced go, go, go world. And it makes me really sad. So I said when I first started this channel that I wanted to try to make a change in my life. And I am. I'm making changes. I'm trying to grow more food, and I'm going to learn how to do things with that food. I did have someone actually stop by, one of the gentlemen on the golf course, when he stopped by, he was like, well, got a lot of food gonna come up here. Yes, sir, I think so. Because you gonna can a lot? I'm gonna try. And he got the biggest kick out of the fact that I am growing all of this food with the hopes that I might be able to can it. And he's like, well, I'll tell my wife you're trying, and maybe if she's got some free time, I'll just send her down here to help you. And I was like, yes, sir, please do. That's exactly what I hope comes from doing this. More people looking around and getting knowledge from each other. I live in a community that is mostly an older generation, and some of them actually know the skills that I'm trying to learn now via the internet or by other people. My grandmother knows how to can, but she never wanted to pressure can because it scares her. So if I'm going to pressure can, which some of the foods I'm going to make need pressure can versus water bath, I either have to learn it on the whim, on the fly, or by someone else. So I'm taking this as an opportunity to build my community and to have conversation with people I probably would not have spoken to just on the everyday, because you don't see them. Everyone stays inside their houses. But as people are playing golf and going by my little garden, they stop and ask, or they see me in the front yard, they stop and ask. And maybe I can make a little bit of a change in just my life, my daughter's life, and any other kids that I end up fostering, because my license is being reopened. It wasn't ever closed, but after adoption, I took a pause. I may have mentioned that. You can take a pause when you adopt, and so I've reopened it so that I can start taking more kiddos in again. Because, I don't have enough on my plate between full-time job, trying to become a black belt, growing a bunch of food, and, already raising one child. Why not? Let's just take on more. Why not? Have fun. Enjoy my journey with me, maybe, and I'll keep you posted. I think we're going to have a lot more chats about what's going on in our food world lately. And that's either going to be banned, okay, or maybe you guys can help educate me more. I'm hoping to learn. I hope you learn too. And I want to share what I do learn. I'm going to do my very best to make sure that it is factual before I ever say anything on camera, because spreading false information is how we get to a place of paranoia, and I don't want that either. So, but I hope you enjoyed watching me try to learn and grow and do some things. Y'all take care now. Bye.